I don't know how I feel about this. $5 make it.
All right, I think we good now, my dog. We might be on
All
here
right.
all by ourselves though.
You sitting there waiting for people to come in the chat.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to wait. Let me see if I can share this right quick and see if they want to come back. Yeah, we back in. Say something, E2.
What I do? What I do?
Yeah,
How's
man.
sound?
Yeah. I heard you.
All right.
Uh oh.
What was
Can y'all hear me? Do I sound good? Can y'all let me know? Let me know how E2 sound.
Yeah, because karma is
Karma is a bia. So let's
yeah.
know how we feeling. Oh, KMT 72. It says all good. So what up, Jim Law? So let me share this a little bit, y'all. I gotta share because people were saying you trash, yo straight trash, hot garbage. So we gotta rewind. This is the remix.
Hey man, it's the off season. Y'all gotta give us a chance.
You feel me? This the off. You feel me? This the remix, y'all. This the remix. So give me
It's the
one.
off season.
This the off season. So give me 1 second. I'm gonna share this a little bit. You know what I mean? And then we're gonna jump back out there. Other people gonna be like, "What kind of stuff is this?"
This is so unprofessional.
This so messed up.
I'm gonna go to another channel.
I ain't messing with him no more. His production terrible.
You need to get some people.
He just garbage.
Skywalker, like, you need help, bro? Oh
Yeah. This Skywalker's like, yard dog. You want me to jump in there? I got you. I'll get you right.
I want to do it myself.
All right, there we go. Everybody's coming in. Everybody's coming in. Share this out here, cause I had to reshare. I don't feel like doing all this, so please share this. What up with you? What up with you, big dog?
What it do? What it do? Glad to have be on here tonight, this evening. Whatever you call
I mean, this is like what our fifth time. Hey, how do my Dan Lee for the $2 Holly said finally. Yeah, we about to get it in. Finally, about to get it in. Like I said, I brought my boy E2Blue. You know how we do. We kicks it. We gonna just talk Cowboys football. We ain't, you know what I'm saying. We just talking Cowboys football. We ain't getting crazy with it. So we ain't gonna have these uh topic one, topic two. We ain't doing that. We just talking Cowboys football. So right now in the news, big dog, they just had what do you think about them possibly going to Frisco and not being in Cali this year?
it. Well, being in Frisco is gonna be hot as hell. We know
Hmm.
that because Texas is hot.
You know they're gonna
They
have them inside though, big dog.
Well, you're probably right about that. But the thing about being in California, though, it's kind of a bittersweet thing. Because the thing of being in California, there's a lot of Cowboy fans in California, and it makes people want to go travel. But because of COVID-19, unfortunately, it might be beneficial for them to stay where they are because they can stay local. The players can concentrate on what's going on, and again, it's a lot of new players on the team. So I think that with the contingency of the new players on the team, it kind of get them a smaller environment for them to, you know, um, what's the word? Was it coagulate with each other? You know what I'm saying?
Hmm. Hmm.
They think.
I
So,
mean, my position on it, it's bittersweet with me as well because at the end of the day, I just the last couple of years I've been to camp in California and I loved it. I mean, I love Cali.
yeah,
I absolutely
that,
love California. Had great to the both times I've been. I've been there more than that, but the two times because I got a homeboy that lives in San Diego. So and G producer G lives out there. So I mean I got other people that live out there. So And the thing about it is where they go out and train, it's not that hot. It's not like so blazing hot to where you're feeling like, oh, we can't they you can't sit out here and function. It's kind of like that good heat. It's like that good 80 degree.
72.
Yeah, it's like that good 80-degree heat. So it's very manageable. It's a good atmosphere. So a part of me, yeah, I'll be sad about it, but a part of me is like go to Texas because them plane tickets are a lot more expensive in Cali than Texas. So
Yeah.
go on to Texas and let me save a little bit on that airfare this year, and let's make it happen. But I just think it's going to be a weird year, E2, as far as like we usually had at least a rookie mini camp by now. They're just now opening the facilities, and I was talking about this yesterday, about 3 days ago on my show. Was that I'm worried about injuries because usually you have the rookies already starting getting simulated, and that is not happening. Everything is being pushed back, and I feel like things are going to be rushed because they want to start on time and have everything start on time. And because they want to start on time so bad, in my opinion, the little things that are being left out, I feel like we might have a season where you see a lot of injuries this year. What do you think?
It's going, it's going to definitely come back and bite them in the ass because what's going to happen is once they get to the season, um, if we get that, it's going to be. I think the first couple of games, 3 or 4 games, are going to be sloppy as hell.
Hmm.
Um, Teams are going to be trying to figure things out. It's going to be harder for teams like the Cowboys and other teams that have new coaches because they're going to be at a disadvantage because they're already behind because they got to learn a new terminology, language, things of that nature. So it's a lot of things. And then, like you said, with the injuries, it's going to be a lot of hamstring, a lot of soft tissues, a lot of groin pulls, maybe some stingers because, again, we know that some of these players are not working out as much as they should by themselves because again, these young guys ain't as disciplined as some of the other ones. And hell, maybe even some of the veterans not by now. There's gonna be a lot of people that's not in football shape come training camp. I'm gonna
Hmm.
tell you that right. So it's gonna be a real sloppy training camp.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. And here's the thing: you always see a lot of rookies getting hurt early, regardless, because the rookies are not assimilated to the NFL game. And so this is where I wonder where you got our rookies, where you're so excited to see them, and they're getting assimilated too quickly, not like it's normally done in years past. Now you got the COVID. I'm worried about these rookies getting early injuries, and you may see. I'm not wishing this, but let's come on, you two. We play football. We know how it is, dog. If you're not
Yeah.
training the right way, and if you're not football training, it's different. Just like I said, when I seen these guys out here doing their training, their makeshift training, when they're in their backyards and things of that nature, that is not helping them like it would if they were in a gym or they were training with their guys. That's not helping them. Yeah, it looks good when we're looking at it, but that ain't helping them. They're going to get an injury quicker than anything else in life if they're training that way. Is that not correct, big dog?
You're absolutely correct because you're not hitting, you're not banging up against another person, you're not. There's no tackling. There's really no physical things going on. You're just basically running. And I mean, like I said, you look good in as far as your physical physique, but as far as football shape, it's not the same thing.
I mean,
Like Nate Newton used to say, big body banging. You got to get in there and bang against everybody, and that's football.
and like I said, I'm really nervous about it. We'll see, but I just feel like everything's being pushed and rushed, and when things are pushed and rushed, like you said, hamstrings are huge. Soft tissue, sprained ankles, those are the type of injuries, those high ankle sprains, those are the type of injuries that you see that come out of nowhere because you're not training the type of training that you're getting if you're doing with your boys at the facilities and there as such. So we're gonna see how that kind of goes, and I hope nothing happens. But I just see a season with a lot of injuries this year because everything is rushed, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Also, got a lot of things in the news. Aldon Smith, my homeboy is actually training him, Brandon Tucker, and he's getting ready to train Randy Gregory too. Aldon Smith has been in the news. Actually, they had the article. I had Brandon on here at the beginning of the month, and I got the exclusive. I ain't bragging. I ain't bragging. Don't think I'm bragging, you too. I ain't bragging. I'm just saying. I
you
got
know
the.
what
I.
happens when you
I'm
do
just
that.
saying. I got the
You
exclusive
know,
over here.
you know what happens when you do that.
Yes, you're right. You see what happened, but I'm gonna still do it anyway. Guess what? I got the exclusive over here, big dog. They just now talk about on ESPN, but he been told me early in the month about Aldon Smith. What are your thoughts from afar on Aldon Smith, big dog?
I mean, he said he 282, but he a fit 282. I think that he's used to playing that. that 3/4 position, that outside linebacker position. But I think that in this defense, he's going to play well because again, I'm pretty sure at that size he can get down in 3-point stance as well. And they're gonna move him around. They're gonna do more than just pass rushing things with him. So they're gonna move him to outside linebacker. He's gonna be a defensive rusher. He's gonna do different things. So I think that Aldon Smith is actually probably gonna play better than people think. That time off actually helped him because again, he may be 30 in age,
Mm-hmm.
but when it comes to like your body and the toll that gets put on your body, he still got miles left on him. So, get him in training camp, get him back, working with the pads and with the other guys and things of that nature. If you get at least, I'll say even 4 or 5 sacks out of him, that's pretty damn good considering what you're paying him. Because you're basically paying the guy veteran minimum that used to be somebody that was a dynamic football player. So if you get any type of production out of him that's better than fair, I mean it's a win-win. You can't beat that with a stick.
No, you can't beat that with a stick. And like I said, man, people don't understand. Like, you know, I think it's a situation where a lot of people are just sitting there thinking, like, oh, well, he's been out the league 4 years. And I get it. I get it. You haven't been in the league 4 years. Hey, ho, we got a $2 holler for my guy, Floor Perrier, and then a $5 holler for Marvin Hargrove Sr. I know we doing good, E2, because Marvin Hargrove don't come on YouTube. He stay on Facebook. So I know we doing it today right now, E2.
Not to brag, that's probably because I'm on the show.
Yeah, I'll take that. I'll take that, big dog. I'll take that. You bring them, so I'll take all of it. I'll take all of it. Hey, but look, people were slipping on. I mean, people will say 4 years out the league. I get it, but you know what the difference is with him? He's not an average normal player. He's not the
No, he's
average
not.
NFL player that you've seen that comes in the NFL and does. This is him and Randy Gregory are special talents. That's why Jerry Jones still has Randy Gregory on the roster after missing half half his whole football career. You know why? Because he has a special talent. And sometimes you're like, you know what? I just don't want to get rid of that. So you have two special talents that if Randy Gregory gets reinstated, you have two talents that are just different type of guys. And Mr. Tucker, Brandon was telling me that when he first saw him, he just said, wow, he looked like he has not missed any football. And the thing that he was saying that was standing out to me, E2, was his football IQ. He's saying
Yes.
his football IQ is ridiculous. That's what people need to really see and hear, that we can see a guy away from the league. But what do we say about Jordan and all the guys that get older? What do we say about them, E2, when they get older, 35, 36, the LeBron James, when they're not basically that super athletic guy? Those guys are so good, they say, you know what? I'm losing a little bit athletically, so I need to really use the mental part of the game to really get over these guys that are younger than me. He's
And that's
saying,
where
go ahead.
and that's exactly where Sean Lee is in his career right now. With that whole mental, him being so good at reading offenses and reading quarterbacks and knowing what a running back's going to be and things of that nature. So he's able to reiterate that and show Jalen Smith how to do that. So when he does retire, Jalen Smith can take over that linebacker core and do his thing. So yeah, that makes a lot of sense because again, Sean Lee is a perfect example of that.
Yeah. And I think when you're one of those players that are just so good, you automatically see that. I just think that when you're a player, like when you get to the 27s and 28s, you realize that, guess what? I'm not going to have that forever. So let me start doing the other parts of the game right now. So when that comes, it doesn't smack me in the face. It's not like, oh, guess what? I'm way behind because I didn't prepare. That's what I think that's really going to help Alden in this thing, because Tucker has been really raving about him. He said he's been there from the beginning, early. First there early, stays there late. Says he's super strong, super strong. The mental part of the game is, he said, basically, like just like he said on ESPN, he's like an old battleship that's just been sitting there collecting dust, and now you got to clean off the barnacles. You got to just restart the engines. He said, but once you restart it and clean it up, it's going to be killing. And this is the thing, just like you said, if you get 80% of an Aldon Smith, you're feeling good. You're winning.
Man, pull them rims out and clean them rims up and man and show out. That's what it is, man. That's what he is. shine them up and put them out there on the field, let them go.
Shine him up and put him out, and I believe he's going. And I got my boy Landon. Hey ho, I got KMT with the 199 holla. He said BGJ autobiography on the way. Trust me, I done told people if you read my story, I guarantee you'll love mine. I got a whole bunch of shit for you. Landon Ishmael, what's up? He said, what's your thoughts on Dig and Maurice Canada, and do you think they will get back to a #1 type defense again? We went off course, but since you threw the holler, we gonna push you to the front, Landon. So what's your quick thoughts? Since we can just be random in this show, who gives a hell? You guys just ask questions. Throw a donation, and I'll do your question right damn now. How about that one? But what do you think about Canada and Diggs?
So first of all, to plug my channel right quick.
Plug it.
Those of you that do follow my channel, thank you. And if you don't, it's E2Blue Entertainment. I did a video on that very topic. I was talking about the secondary, and I basically said that I believe that the secondary on this team is going to be much better than what we think it is. Now, you look at, like he said, with the draft picks with Reggie Robinson and Trayvon Diggs, those guys might end up being like rookie MVPs, in my opinion, because, again, this defense is going to be way different than what we had before, right? So before we were playing 10 yards off the ball, we stayed in cover 3. We never disguised coverages, any of that. Mm-hmm. Now what they're doing now, you look at who they have now. Every single guy that they got in the draft and guy that we got in free agency are ball hawks. They're guys that are physical. They're going to get in your face. And I want to say that, what is it, like 4 of them were former first-round draft picks. So you look at that, and then you look at guys like Savion Smith. People are like, well, who is that? That boy, he might shock you. Maurice Canada, he's got something in him too. I'm looking at these guys, and I've been just looking at past film on them. Mm-hmm. All of them have something to bring to the table to this team, especially Darly Worleys. And these guys.
Can I get a plug right quick? We had him on the show.
Yes, and I watched it.
That was good.
It was really good. I really liked what he had to say. He was genuine. He kept it 100, and I'm all about that 100, bro. Mm-hmm. And I'm telling you, I talked about Darly Worleys, and I basically said that we're going to get picks. These guys are looking back for the ball. This is who you need on the team, and it's going to help out Anthony Brown. People forget about J. Lou, but J. Lou, man, is.
Well, let's talk about that, because so many people have been talking about that. E2, a lot of people have got on us, me, Skywalker, and basically said, "Oh man, y'all just basically just giving up on J. Lou, man. Y'all just." And I'm not giving up. Listen, I'm not giving up on no J. Lou, dog. That's my dog. That's been my player from A1 day one. But this is what I see, E2. If you see a guy, you bring in Maurice Canada. You bring in Darly Worleys, you draft a Diggs, you draft a Robinson, you brought a Savion Smith, you have other people on the roster that are 6'1" and up. I'm not saying J. Lou ain't good, but when I see all these people drafted, I see these tall people drafted, I see these people brought in, that tells me I don't think you're the long-term plan unless you go nutty this year. What's your thoughts?
This is the thing. One or two things are going to happen. Either he's going to play his way off the team, like maybe they might use him as trade bait.
I've been saying that.
I don't want that, or
it's a reality though.
They can end up not keeping Savion Smith or Maurice Canada, because you look at.
I don't think Savion Smith makes the roster.
Huh?
I don't think Savion Smith makes the roster.
Not if J. Lou plays out of his mind. Because if J. Lou, first of all, if it's the J. Lou that I know, he's going to come in there, he's going to play. You see what he did? I have respect for him when he came in there his rookie year and he went against Dez and had no fear. Mm-hmm. He called Dez out. Mm-hmm. And he was talking trash to him. Mm-hmm. Like, he didn't care about none of that hype. I think that this defense is going to be great for J. Lou. It's going to make him play even better because it plays to his strengths. He's able to play press man. He's able to get up in your face. They're not going to make him be 5-10 yards off the ball. And he's going to be able to get up in these guys and jam these receivers. Now, let me tell you something. One of them other guys ain't making his team. I think that Jay Lou gonna be on. He got a spot. That's just what I believe. Now
So
he's going to be the exception of the rule as far as the height thing because they're looking for players. Mike McCarthy, Mike Nolan. Yes, they might care about the height thing when it comes to that, and Al Harris and everything. But when they see him on that field and when they see how hungry he is, they're like, we can't get rid of him. That'd be stupid.
I mean, I feel you. Let me give a shout out to a couple more people. Hey ho, Terrence Corner with the $9.99 holla. Dan Lee, $2 holla. Man, I told you who getting that damn jersey at the end of the show. Don't you ask me that stuff, man. But here's my thing. I feel you. I'm still feeling what you're saying, but when I go to Mike McCarthy, I'm gonna play devil's advocate. E2. When I go to Mike McCarthy and I see everybody he's drafted in his previous regime, cornerbacks, they're all tall as well, and I don't see short guys getting love on his team.
I got you. But what short guy did he have on his roster before that was scrappy and played like Jay Lou?
Buckley, Terrell Buckley. Was it Buckley?
But where is he now? Exactly what I'm telling you. Like, I'm telling you, like, Jay Lou got some promise, man. I'm not giving up on that. I'm not doing it.
Okay. I mean, I ain't giving up on him either, but I'm just saying I look at the money. I go where the money goes too. Okay. And I looked at money. Okay. And Jay Lou is still actually Jay Lou makes more than Cheeto, which is crazy to me. Jay Lou makes more than Cheeto. But
he's still not gonna make even if they resign him, it's still not gonna be like back-breaking money. You know what I'm saying? It's not Jamal Adams money. So you know,
he's gonna be affordable, but they've already okay. So I'm gonna play devil's advocate with you a lot today. They re-signed Anthony Brown. If they had so much confidence in Jay Lou, then why do they sign Anthony Brown? In your opinion?
Because Anthony Brown is fast. People keep forgetting how much speed this guy has. Him and Cheeto are now the fastest DBs on the team. Now, if you ask, remember when Kayvon Frazier was still on the team? Mm-hmm. They had asked him in interviews like, "Who's the fastest on the team?" Like everybody like comes at AB like he's trash, but we forget that these players are only good as the scheme that they're playing in.
Right.
Now you have a whole new scheme. You have a whole new regime. It's going to be wipe that shit clear of what you were dealing with or what you were thinking of last year. Mm-hmm. This is a new era. This is a new season. This is different. It's not what we were doing before. So let's see what they do in training camp and let's see what happens. Because I'm telling you right now, if Jay Lou showed heart then, you know he's gonna show heart in this new defense because it's predicated on what he already does anyway.
Well, and let me give a shout out to another donation from Floyd Perrier. We're going to talk about the center position. Actually, I pulled up Anthony Brown for you and his stats while you were talking. And if you look at his overall stats, from some of his 2019 stats from last year, he's actually playing really good. I know some of the stats don't look at it, but his overall defensive grade, if you go through it, was pretty good before he got hurt. And just like I think the thing, just like you said, is we have to talk about the scheme. The scheme really hurt the Cowboys. We had George Ioka on the show, and he was saying, Chris Richard said, "Hey, I don't give a hell. We're going to show them what we're doing. We're going to load up the box. We're not going to disguise anything. We're going to show them what we're doing." And so that tells you right there, when quarterbacks get a beat on what you're doing, and these are NFL quarterbacks, when you're playing against the Aaron Rodgers and the Drew Brees and those type of guys, they know what the hell you're doing. They're going to see their scheme. They eat that up. You don't listen. Aaron Rodgers used to get excited when he played Rod Marinelli, and I ain't hating on you, Papa Rod, but he used to get excited playing against Rod Marinelli's defense. You know why? Because he knew exactly how to destroy that defense. Am I not right, E2?
First of all, anytime Sam Darnold comes off a mono and comes in the game and be like, "Ooh, I'm about to pick this team apart," and
then after the game, he says, "We knew exactly what they were going to do."
Exactly, and then he went in there and was like, "All right, well, I'm gonna throw this 97-yard bomb to Robbie Anderson for this touchdown right quick, because y'all don't switch up nothing. I see what y'all doing."
And that's a second-year quarterback who came off a mono. But you know, like I knew that when he came off. See, here's my thing. I posted on my Twitter. I think you liked it, E2. I think you liked it, E2. I posted on my Twitter. I said, "Yep." I said, "That's the setup." I said, "Isn't that this is typical under Jason Garrett?" Sam Darnold, who missed all these games, happens to come back against the Dallas
Yep.
Cowboys. As soon as I seen that E2, he's coming back. I said, "Yep, I don't want to say it, but we're gonna lose." I said,
They,
we're gonna lose that game.
bruh, they made Mitchell Trubisky look like Lamar Jackson.
I mean, you get what I'm saying? But let's not talk about them is bad vibes. We don't got to deal with that no more. Let me get my homie Floyd. Bad vibes. We don't talk about that evilness. That's evil. So let me talk. My guy Floyd Perrier, who gave the $5 holler. He said, "Who wins the center job? Who wins the center job this season? Is it going to be a Joe
So,
Looney? Is it going to be a Tyler Biadasz? Or is it going to be maybe Connor McGovern?"
so they're gonna battle, obviously, because they're gonna create this competition. Right as of right now, they trust Joe Looney, right? Um, because he's done it before. That's one. Two, if for whatever reason, I'm gonna call him Tyler Badass because I like.
Yeah.
So if Badass comes in and beats him out, then so be it. But can't forget about Connor McGovern either. So they're gonna provide some competition. So it's Joe Looney is gonna get the first opportunity. But if in training camp and things start heating up and these guys start showing some promise, then they might make some changes. But right now it's Joe Looney.
I'm gonna say Joe Looney. Yeah, is going to be the start out, but in my opinion, I don't want Joe Looney starting again the whole season.
I got you.
That was great. 2018, you see the stats. A lot of people were saying, "Hey, Joe Looney played great." I'm not saying he didn't, but Joe Looney has a lot of problems with power people. We've seen it when he's played against power defensive tackles. They overpower him, and it stops. I mean, I'm looking at these stats right here. 2018, he didn't play bad. He only gave up 1 sack the whole year, so I cannot hate on him. But if you look at his overall graded out of 38 centers, rated 34,
But
52.9,
you know what Joe Looney's strength is, right?
pulling,
Yes, I was just getting ready to say that. So
pulling.
when they start pulling them offensive linemen, and because again, our offensive linemen are very athletic. They've always been like that. So we've always been good at pulling. When our line pulls, Ezekiel Elliott gets big yardage. So if they do more of that, it's going to hide a lot of that issue that he had. And I think that with this team and with Joe Philbin now being the offensive line coach, they're going to be doing a lot of that.
And see,
So
people don't understand that even when we talk about the E2, when we talk about the experience for the coaching staff, there's over 100 years of experience on that coaching staff. We have to
oh my God,
understand that Mark Colombo, as much as I liked him, only had what, a couple of years of experience as an offensive line coach, right?
yeah,
So and I love Mark Colombo, but he still only had a
I do.
couple of years. You got Philbin, who's had at least 20 years, and he's been a head coach, so he knows a thing or two about the offensive line. And those offensive line, if you see their draft, offensive linemen have been very productive under Philbin. Am I not correct on
And
that one?
yes, you are. And he's been with Mike McCarthy for years, so they
They
already
know
have
each
that.
other. They're peas in a
Yeah,
pod.
yes.
And that's what the good thing when we go back to the staff and we're talking about the staff. And hey, if you want to give a hot donation right now, and we'll answer your question right the hell now. You want to give a donation, you get your question answered right now. And appreciate you, Q Charles, with a 9.99 holler on my son's graduation. Thank you, 2020 boy. I didn't like how they had to end it. My son should have got better than that. But hey, my son graduated. I'm gonna be happy with that, and he's headed to college doing his damn thing. So shout out to my soul. So I appreciate you, Q Charles, for that. Um, but as I was saying though, E2, it's just kind of weird how it's happening. But the good thing about it is you got a Mike McCarthy, you got a guy who he brings a film in. I know you. You bring a Scott, I can't remember his name. He was the linebacker coach. You brought him. Al Harris, you played for me.
Oh,
Get on over here.
you talking about Edwards from the Vikings?
No, Scott McClintis or something. He was the linebackers coach at Green Bay.
Oh, yeah, I know you're talking
You know
about.
what I'm talking about? McLaurin, Scott, something like that. He was the linebackers coach over there. So you feel me? So you have that familiarity. So it's not going to be a situation where Garrett, and I don't hate on Garrett with this, but
you talking about the old quarterback,
no, no,
Scott
no.
Tolzien?
No. Check it up. The line. Give me somebody look in the feed and give me his name. He's the linebackers coach because George Edwards is not like a official linebackers
I,
coach. He's
I
like
thought Edwards, I thought Edwards was the linebackers coach,
No,
man.
Edwards is not the linebackers coach. Edwards is kind of like he don't
Oh,
have a role. He's like a defensive role. But
let
Scott,
me go back and look in my notes because I had it in my notes
yeah, Scott McClary,
from a
yeah,
while back.
I think it's Scott McClary is the linebackers coach, but he's like pretty much like a assisting guy, the guy that roams, picks his
That
parts. Yeah, I mean, but you know how they have it in name. We'll see how that pans out in the season. You know what I mean? But my thing is, let me see if they're looking here. Um,
I got it in here.
you got to hear, pull it up for me when you find it. But my thing is, you have a lot of guys that you're already familiar with and had successful with. So if you brought those guys that you had success with Green Bay, and I was looking at my McCarthy E2, man, we should really once again be happy that he is our coach. Do we understand that he went to 4 NFC championships? He should have went to 2 Super Bowls. He went to the playoffs 8 straight seasons. He only
Yeah,
had 2 losing seasons. People should really be happy we got a damn good coach.
yeah, I agree.
All right, so while you're
Uh,
looking for that, my homie Dan Lee hits me with a $5 holla donation. He says, "Is a Wuze trade?" Because he's been asking this. Is a Wuze trade bait if J. Lou balls out? And what does J. Lou need to do to force them to trade a Wuze or Brown? First of all, I don't feel like they're going to trade Brown because they signed him to a
they
3 year
just
deal.
signed
They're
a
not going to
3-year
trade him.
contract. They're not
So
doing
don't. I don't think we should bring that up. They're not trading
that's
him,
not,
and it was right when they got McCarthy. So McCarthy and them probably feeling him. Um, do you think Awuzie is trade bait?
no.
Neither do I. And I'm
I'm
and
gonna
I'm gonna stand on that.
Awuzie,
I think they
we
like a.
talked about fast guys, right?
You
We
said
talked
what?
about fast guys.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about fast guys. He's one of those fast guys. I don't think that they're gonna get rid of him like that. I just don't believe it. Now you look at space on this team, somebody gotta go, right? Well, we know that Chris Westry ain't gonna be the team because he's not that fast.
What? Restaurant running 4-3, big dog.
Yeah, but every year he's got injured, so
West.
it
This is
seems like
only
every
this is only gonna be Westry's second year from Kentucky. They're not gonna cut him. They're not gonna cut him. He's 6'5". 6'5" running 4 threes. You ain't cutting him. And he stayed on the practice squad all last year with no time. No, they got to see him.
it's Scott McCurley.
Yeah, Scott McCurley. No, they
He
ain't
has
cutting no
5 years.
Westry, big dog. That
He
would
has
be a
5 years.
mistake. That would be a mistake. Don't cut no Westry. You got a 6'4.5" corner that runs a 4-3 speed, and he didn't play all last year. You need to see what you have in him. And even if he's not ready, you put him back on the practice squad. You don't cut him. Not no 6'4",
That's also
4-3 guy.
well. That's also why he's still here too. So
Yeah, and so I got another donation from my guy Flor Perrier. What's up with you? Appreciate you. He says Awuzie goes to safety. I don't think Awuzie goes to safety this year. I think
he
they
don't go to safety. He
he
don't want to
don't.
go to.
I mean I asked him the question last year. He said he was a corner, but guess what? He was on George Ioka's podcast and he said he was more open to it. You know why? Because the coach is probably in his ear. See, you ain't a coach. I'm not saying you E2. I'm saying, but if you ain't a coach and you a player, and that coach says, "Hey, we like you at safety," what are you gonna do? Mope? You gonna sit the bench? We got other players that can take your spot, so you're gonna sit. So guess what? He is gonna be more open to it now. You're gonna tell me that you don't think a Wuze could be a better safety than a corner? I do.
But if a player tells you himself that, I mean, does he have the confidence to play safety? Like, look at it
He
like
played a
this.
little bit in college though, E2 at Colorado. He played safety at Colorado. And he wasn't bad at it. And think about it. When he plays, think about it, E2, he always has a problem with his head turnaround. And he plays very good coverage. I'm not saying that. He's right
No,
there.
he does.
But
He does.
if you watch him, he plays good coverage. Why not put him at a free safety position where everything is in front of him? He is a good tackler. I think he can be more physical, but he's a great athlete. You have transitioned him to a safety where he has everything in front of him. I think he makes more plays on the ball, and you can blitz him.
Okay, we'll see how that works.
I mean, that's just my opinion. I kind of think that I don't think he's going to transition to safety this year, but I think they may put him in spots with it because I think the COVID had stopped that. If it was a whole full season, maybe they look at it more. Because think about it, E2, they don't have nobody on the back end long term.
I believe that they would experiment on that definitely.
Yeah, so that's just something to keep your eye on. We got Fatimus Prime with the $2 holla. He says, "What's up, BGJ? How many DNs do you think make the team? How many DNs do we think make the team?" Let me pull that up. I'm gonna pull that right now.
So that all really depends on them Randy Gregory.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna pull them up right now.
I got
DNs.
them too.
Let me see. How many DNs? Because I told everybody I love Jalen Jelks. Okay. I love some Jalen Jelks.
You got to show me something because
But
I
I
haven't
think
seen.
he's going to be more of a practice squad guy. I'm gonna keep it all the way funky. I think he's going to be a practice squad guy.
I think so.
Let me see.
Man, shoot, they should go back and get George Iloka.
You feel me? He said that he wanted to play again. They really should.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think because remember, here's a lot of things when we had these guys on interviews, the Joe Hollies and even the Iokas, they kept on saying the same thing. Those squads were predetermined and
yeah.
they never had a chance. You get what I'm saying? It was
Right.
like, guess what? It didn't matter what you did. Are we gonna really say that Jeff Heath was better than George Ioka?
No, right now they start from scratch. So if Iloka comes back, there's your other safety right there.
Yeah, but the whole fact of the matter is how bad it was is that you basically said that you are not going to go with your best guy. You're going to go with the Jeff Heath over Ioka, and Ioka has been a starter in this league for the Bengals, which he played on that Bengals team, and that was a good defense that he played on. And you're going to tell me
Yeah,
he got cut over Jeff Heath? Yeah, that tells me that just goes to show how bad that year was when you got a talented player better than a player you have, but you're gonna love a Jeff Heath or you bring a Jason Witten back because he's just a good old boy. That's why I'm just glad that regime is gone and we don't have to deal with that crap any longer.
they kept they kept they kept Jeff Heath because it's a Swiss Army knife. I understood that.
I don't care. He shouldn't have been starting over no damn George Ioka.
I agree, but they could have kept them both if they wouldn't have brought back Jason Witten.
Right, but like you said, that's that good old boy stuff. So I'm
That's
thinking we're
good
gonna
old
have
Jason Garrett.
I'm thinking we're gonna have if you're looking at DNs, we're gonna have I'm trying to pull them up, but my computer's acting funky right now. Get on here. I'm trying to pull these up. Our edge defenders. Stop
I
acting
mean, I
weird.
got it. I mean,
You got
I
them.
know
Pull
you.
them up. Who you think makes it? I'm waiting for mine to
I
pull
mean, I know
that.
off the top of my head. I mean, you're gonna have Dorrance Armstrong. You're definitely gonna have
This is a make or break year for him.
D-Law. Yeah, it is. But he showed some promise before. I think that the odd man out is obviously Tristan Hill.
See that the problem with me is, I mean, if we're just talking about edge guys, I mean, he's going to be more of an inside guy, don't you think? He's going to be more of a
he's
three tech guy.
he's definitely a three tech, but I mean, even then, he still ain't got no position to play because you got Tyrone Crawford in there. You get you, you got Gerald McCoy. You know what I'm saying? Like, who's the other guy we got? Oh yeah,
Dante
you got
Poe.
yeah. Well, Dante Poe's a one tech,
Right.
and then you got
Gallimore.
Bradley and I.
Yeah.
So I mean, you got Big Neville Gallimore. I mean, he's gonna be that three tech as well. So I'm telling you, Neville Gallimore, in my opinion, probably going to be higher on the roster than Tristan Hill is at that three tech.
I mean, I agree with that. I see. Here's my thing. I think it's more of the attitude with Gallimore. I think he wants it, but I really feel like this, and I'm not going to sit there and just throw Tristan Hill away. I know everybody wants to. He does have talent. He's a different dude. I get it. He's a different dude. But if he turns that light switch on, I don't want to throw away a talent like that. That's just my
He better,
opinion. I want him to grow, but but
he
we
better,
can't
he
say that because he got a whole new staff though. E2, you can't say that. You got a whole new staff. A whole new staff may get something out of him that Garrett and them didn't because you got to look at E2. A lot of people quit on Garrett last year.
quite possibly, but he also has to show that he's mature enough to play not only in this league but on this team because this new coaching staff is no nonsense. They're not putting up with that crap.
Oh,
So, so
I
yeah,
I totally believe
and
that too. He's
and
a
and
he's got to make it
he has
happen.
to be hungry, and I haven't seen his hunger yet.
No, I haven't seen it either. I mean, even when I was at training camp, I really didn't see too much of it. That's why I said he runs too much hot and cold. I didn't think he was going to be any kind of thing this year. But like I said, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. I'll give any player the benefit of the doubt if you're young and it's a new staff, because now you have a time to really prove yourself to a new staff, because they can look at the old stuff, but that don't got nothing to do with now. So it's up to him. If he doesn't want to do it, then it's over with him in this regime. That's totally right. But me personally, I don't want to throw away a talent like that when you got a 6'3", 315-pound defensive tackle with a quick first step. I don't want to have to throw that away, especially when you spend a damn second round draft pick on him, man.
I got you, and I agree wholeheartedly on that. It's hard to when you pick a guy with 57, like, and you just get rid of it. I mean, we did that to Taco Charlton. You
I
know,
mean, and we see that the mistake that was. So I just don't want to have a
but
back-to-back year.
also what happens to these young players is when they get benched like that, it's a mental thing. Their confidence gets diminished. So, and they feel like they're just the eyeball out. So they some of them stand up and try to do better. Others just sit back and mope. And when you mope, that's when you just keep getting lower and lower and lower, and
hmm
then you fades out. So it's up to him really what his destiny is right now. I just feel like some of those other guys that are his fellow, young players are just a little bit more hungry than he is. So, but we'll see. We'll see what happens to Trey again. Now, you look at the end position. Now, they're gonna rotate that position anyway, so it really doesn't matter.
Yeah, I agree. It's a lot of the situation where I think they want to get a lot of depth where they can rotate people, where they're not going to be pigeonholed with, well, we got to keep this guy. And then, like you said, you got an Aldon Smith. I don't want to start an Aldon Smith week one. I don't feel like why would you have to do that? Let's bring him along slowly and keep them fresh, because Aldon Smith is going to be even more dangerous after week 8 and 9 when he's fresh. You get what I'm saying? Because it's a long season, 16-game season. You want those horses that are fresh later on. So give that Doran Armstrong Jr. or that Tyrone Crawford. You kept him. I like to have an Everson Griffin over him. But if you kept him, let him start again and bring Randy Gregg and them guys slowly on third downs and things of that nature. And then when they start progressing that middle of the year, that's when you see that defense really clicking. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I agree. Also, too, you were talking about Randy Gregory. Now, um, I actually think Aldon Smith might even play better than Randy Gregory, only because of just the situation. We don't know what type of shape Randy Gregory is in.
hmm
We know what Aldon Smith looks like, but we don't know what's going on with Randy Gregory. So it could come in a situation where they might find somebody else that's still out there on the street. Obviously, if they wanted Everson Griffin, they would have got him, but I think the price might be still too high.
Yeah, and you know what's crazy though? You're talking about that Everson Griffin being a high number. You still have Tyrone Crawford at 9 million a year. Why haven't, in your opinion, they haven't adjusted that? They were talking about maybe doing a possible pay cut with him, but why are you
I
keeping
don't.
a Tyrone Crawford at $9 million a year, man?
I'm gonna tell you why. Because you remember when he was injured with the hip and he was out of the game,
hmm
we were getting gashed. Go back and look at the tape when he was in the game. We wasn't getting gashed like that. That defense played better when Tyrone Crawford was in there, and that's straight facts. You can go back and look at the tape and see
I
that.
looked at the tape. I can't disagree. I can't disagree.
That's that is
Uh,
the reason why they're keeping him back. Now they might cut into it if something happens with the Dak Prescott thing and they think that they need a little bit more money. But right now they don't want to do that because they think that he deserves everything that he gets. Because again, he's their Swiss Army knife in that middle. He can play the end. He can play the three technique. He can do pretty much damn every position on that line except for one tech.
yeah, and yeah, I think that's why the reason why they kept him, because of that value of it. I got a $5 holla donation from Landon Ismail. He says, "Do you think DeMarcus Ware, even DeMarcus Murray, will ever come back to play?" No. Maybe talk
No,
about coaching, yes, but they will never come back to play. They are too old and done. So
no.
never.
And if
Um,
and if DeMarcus Ware coaches anywhere, it'll probably be the Broncos, not us anyway. So
you think
let that
so?
be
I
known.
mean, maybe he doesn't. Maybe with the new staff that he will come back. You think that he would? He
No, only because they already came to him about a position with the Broncos. That's why I said that.
mhm. Okay. Okay. Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. I got a question here. Dallas Cowboys for life. What's up, Matcha? Who's the defensive player with the Cowboys that has the most approved going into the season? Great question.
The most approved?
What defensive player?
You said defensive player?
Defensive player.
Oh, we just talked about Tristan Hill.
Tristan Hill? You think Tristan
Yeah.
Hill, out of all the defensive player, has the most approved on the defense?
Oh, you said most improved. I thought you said
No,
most to prove.
no, most to prove. Most approved.
Oh, most approved. Well, him and Jay Lou.
J. Lou, yeah. Let me think. I'm trying to think. Who would I think has the most approved on this defense?
Because you think about it, we know pretty much what everybody else is. Now, there's other guys that we haven't
I'm gonna
seen.
say I'm gonna throw Xavier Woods in there too. Because we don't know what Xavier Woods is, man.
That's true.
We do not know what he is. We sitting here, we sat there and said, you got him a steal, we thought, as a 6th-round pick. He was a playmaker in college. He looked okay his first year because he's playing in the slot. He's playing multiple positions. We're thinking, okay, he's going to take that next level. He looked a little better. He said he had the chip on the shoulder with Earl Thomas, but you haven't just seen it. So I think Xavier Woods has a lot to prove this season. He has a lot to prove because we don't know. They're looking at safety position right now, sitting there saying we still don't know.
So if you put it that way, technically every DB on this team that's been on this team for the last couple of years,
you can say the whole back end. I'm saying the whole back end probably has something to prove. They all have something to prove right now.
If you go in there, you might as well say X-Men. You might as well say Chidobe Awuzie. You might as well say Jay Lou, and you might as well say Anthony Brown, because those are the 4 players that are return guys that, again, I think they're going to do better with the new system. So again, if you look at it and to answer the guy that guy's question, it's really not one player that you can pinpoint on, but we're just gonna say for the channel's sake that the secondary guys that's been here before, those are the ones that have the most approval.
Yeah. Well, like I said, we'll see. He says, James, come on, man. What do you mean when you're saying, James, come on, man? You're going to have to expound on that when you're asking me, James, come on, man. I see some people saying Van Der Esch has something to prove.
I don't think
Van Der Esch has anything to prove. I think Van Der Esch is you had a neck injury. That's the only thing we know. I think Van Der Esch is gonna bounce back. I had a lot of people, Patrick Walker, on the show, and he's gave his clean bill of health. I think Van Der Esch is gonna turn up this year. What do you think? I think he's gonna turn up this year, especially in this new defense. I think he's gonna play phenomenal this year.
If that neck holds up, he's definitely going to be pretty good this year. And they were talking about switching him and Jalen anyway. So
yeah, I
know what they're doing.
And I like their and think about it. They played a lot of 3-4, and they are really good with linebackers. You get what I'm saying? So I think a Joe Thomas, I think a Van Der Esch, I think a Smith, all have really good seasons. And I really think Van Der Esch is going to have a bounce back season. Who do you think is going to have a bounce back season in your opinion?
On the defense?
Defense and offense.
I'm gonna go with Jalen.
Jalen Smith has a bounce back?
Yeah.
Okay. I like that one too. What about on offense?
He's got a lot to prove, especially, from the mental situation with his drop foot and things of that nature. I think that he's going to come back and he's going to be ready to go. On offense, I would say definitely Dak Prescott, because he's been shitted on ever since he got on the league, which I don't understand why. But, I think that he's going to come in there and he's going to show people that, like, I still succeeded, stat-wise in Jason Garrett's lame-ass system.
I mean, that's what I've been telling folks, man.
Now with this new regime and this coaching staff and playing the West Coast offense, it is going to excel him to a different level. And I said they need to pay him now, because next year you're going to be paying him in the 45s, and people are going to be pissed off because they're like, well, Dak Prescott, they're going to be saying all that crap. But, it is what it is.
See, here, the funny thing is
It's up with numbers. That's what it is.
my problem with this is, I was doing E2, I think it was a couple days ago. I was watching the NFC Championship, the 2014 NFC Championship with the Seattle Seahawks and the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah.
That was Russell Wilson's second year. I made a comparison with Russell Wilson and Dak Prescott in their 4 years. They're pretty much identical. Everybody wanted to crap on, oh, don't compare no Russell Wilson with no Dak Prescott. He's a franchise quarterback. He's a
If
franchise
you
quarterback.
look at
Hold,
their
hold, hold on,
career,
hold on, hold on. I'm about to kill it. I'm about to kill it. If you looked at their careers in their first 4 years, they're pretty much identical. And people forget the first
yes,
4 years, a lot of people are saying Russell Wilson is not the guy. He's not a franchise quarterback. It's so funny how people forget when everybody was saying Russell Wilson was not a franchise quarterback. It ain't Russell Wilson, it's that defense. It ain't Russell
you know
Wilson,
what
it's
the
that
problem
offensive line. It ain't Russell Wilson, it's Marshawn Lynch. It ain't Russell
You know what the
Wilson.
problem with some fans are? They just jump on the bandwagon when it comes to stuff like that. They listen to these talking heads and they just take that little bit of crap information that they get and they just blow it to another level. And it's just like, oh, they just hop on that train, and then when that train comes off the track, they're like, oh, let me go back on this one, and then they come over here and they go over there, and it's just like they talk crap about this and then be like, oh, well, he was really great. Nah, you didn't say that last year.
Yeah, and like I said, it's just really funny. I watched that championship game. He threw 4 picks in that game. Hey ho, Tavis Banks with the $10 holla,
Oh,
and
listen,
I'm gonna come to you right here in a second. Et is gonna come here back in a second, but it's just really funny, y'all. While Et comes back here in a second, that I was watching that 2012 championship game, and I had so many people come at my neck for saying, "Hey, he ain't no Russell Wilson. He ain't Russell Wilson. He ain't no franchise." And like I said, y'all soon forget. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you right now, Russell Wilson can throw that damn ball, and I think he's a better runner than Dak Prescott. I do. I just think he's a better runner with the ball. He can't really sling that ball, but when I watch Russell Wilson in that 2014 game, he played like hot garbage. He played like trash that game. He threw 4 picks. He didn't look good the whole game. And even when they scored their touchdowns, it wasn't because of him. It was because of bad plays. It was because the defense made stops. And then they were just getting good field position. They were getting field goals. But he didn't play good in that game. And the passes that he did make to win that critical pass to win in overtime, Dak Prescott can make that damn pass. The passes that
yeah.
he was throwing, Dak Prescott can make them throws. And I was just sitting there thinking, looking, I really analyzed that game, E2. I really analyzed that game, and I said, you going to tell me Dak couldn't do that in that game? You going to tell me
Well,
Dak couldn't have escapability in some of those plays and make plays with his feet and still, man, Dak could do that shit too. I don't give a hell. That just
two,
cemented it for me.
two things. Russell Wilson obviously been in the league longer than that, so there's more stats for him, right? And then you talk about, you're not gonna sit here and tell me that coaching don't matter, right? You got Pete Carroll and you have Jason Garrett. Come on now. So
It's
get,
maddening, like I said.
get out of your mind when it comes to that situation. You see how good Dak was even with Jason Garrett?
That's what I've been saying, man. I've been saying that argument the last 2 weeks. I said if you had a Dak Prescott do what he has done, and I'm not saying Dak still don't have things to do and get better on, but if you had a Dak Prescott do what he did under Jason Garrett, who's so regular as a coach, regular, never took him
Face
to
it,
it, never.
face it.
You got Mike McCarthy, who yes, he didn't win all of them, but he went to 4 championship games. Garrett went to 0. He went to the Super Bowl and won. Garrett didn't even sniff it. You
See,
get what I'm saying? What the
the problem
hell?
with the problem with Jason Garrett was he's still living in the 90s, right? He's been on this championship 90s team. So in his mind, he thinks that this is the recipe for success. But his stubborn mindset, because he's, smart guy, he's a Princeton graduate. A lot of those smart guys don't have a lot of common sense. So he's just thinking one track. He's just thinking, okay, well, if I come out with this great philosophy and this great game plan, it's going to be a winner, right? But what he doesn't understand is that when you get to that game, when you get to the playoffs, when you get to the NFC Championship, when you get to the Super Bowl, all that shit goes out the window. You have to be able to make adjustments in game and be able to outsmart the team that you are playing against. Perfect example of that. And I hate to give the Eagles credit, but this is the best example I could give. Doug Peterson, I got to give it to him. He's a good coach. Doug Peterson came in there with the Eagles, and he said, "You know what? We're playing in the Super Bowl with the Patriots, right? So to beat Bill Belichick, you have to beat Belichick at his game." They were going back and forth, doing the same thing. Philly special, doing this and doing that. Flea flickers, bootlegs. They were doing all different type of things, but Philly was doing it, and the players executed. Every running back scored in that Super Bowl. All three of the running backs on the roster scored in the Super Bowl. So I say that to say this. When you get to that point, your regular playbook and what you do goes out of the window, and you have to play championship football.
Plain and simple.
So Jason Garrett will never be that type of coach to do that. He may get you.
He ain't never going to be a head coach again.
He may get you to the playoffs, but he's not going to get you through the playoffs. You feel me?
Jason Garrett ain't never going to be a head coach again in the NFL.
Yes.
That's a fact. I'm going to go to the grave with that. Jason Garrett will never be a head coach in the NFL again. I think you'll be have hella jobs as an offensive coordinator. You'll have hella jobs as an offensive coordinator, but you ain't no head coach, bruh. And as I said before, if you had a player that was not ready to come in and start as a 4th-round draft pick, he was not ready to play, right? And you lost Romo. Oh my God, they had Kellen Moore ahead of him. That's right there. You should be smacked right there. You had Kellen Moore ahead of him. But go ahead. You had Kellen Moore ahead of him. Both of them get hurt. You roll with this guy, and in 4 years, look what you've done under Garrett regime. I'm going to do backflips when I bring up Mike McCarthy in and sit there and say, well, look what he's done, and look what he's done under Rodgers and the quarterbacks that he has had as an offensive coordinator, as a coach. How can you not get excited to say, well, damn, I think Dak Prescott's going to be a lot better now, because as somebody, and you said the West Coast offense, we had Jesse Holly on here. He said he loves Mike McCarthy because he's going to have Dak thinking even quicker. I think one of the knocks on Dak is because he doesn't get it out quick enough. He doesn't process it quickly. I think Mike McCarthy is going to help that role and help him get the ball out even quicker and to be like boom, boom, boom. And it's just, I think he's going to take Dak's game to another level, in my opinion.
And I agree. And Mike McCarthy said it himself. He basically was in there. He said, look, when they hired him, they said, look, I can't wait to work with Dak Prescott. This is a young quarterback that's done great. He has poise. He doesn't flinch. He stands up to his adversaries. He was like, he basically said when they came here and Dak Prescott played against us, they almost beat us.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he said. He said they almost beat us because Dak did not flinch. He came in there, and even though his back was against the ball, he still played his hardest.
I mean, why? If you're a coach and you've seen that, you're sitting there thinking, like, why am I not excited about? Why you think he probably came to Dallas? You think Mike McCarthy comes to Dallas if you think he has a trash quarterback?
Man, he was salivating.
Do you really think Mike McCarthy's going to come to Dallas when he's got a trash quarterback?
And he was salivating when he saw that, I got Ezekiel Elliott too?
I got Ezekiel Elliott. I got Dak Prescott. I got a good offensive line. I got Amari Cooper. I got Michael Gallup. I got a Blake Jarwin, who I think is going to be good. I got pieces to work with on defense. We're going to get a good draft. We got it. We come back with a good draft. I'm Mike McCarthy. I'm sitting back here thinking, let's go to work.
Let's go.
Let's go. Let's go to work. I'm leaving Green Bay. And here's the thing, E2. What was he crying about in Green Bay? They're not getting me the players. They're not getting me the players I want. I'm trying to, keep this team together with y'all not getting people in free agency. Y'all not drafting people. I'm trying to do it. But guess what? He comes to Dallas. He ain't got to worry about that problem because Jerry Jones says, I'll give you whatever the hell you want. You get what I'm saying?
Whatever you want.
I'll give you whatever you want. You get what I'm saying? Because you know why? Jerry takes a back seat. And here's another thing. Think about this, E2, and tell me if you agree with this, right? When he brought Mike McCarthy in, when they had the big press conference, and he said, I want to go to war with somebody who's already been in the foxhole. I want to go to war with somebody who's already been there, right? Think about this. When he hired Jason Garrett had 1 year of coaching experience as a quarterback's coach. 1 year. So when he came in the system, Jerry brought him in, and I had told this many a times, and Jesse Holly confirmed it. When he brought him in, he was like, this is going to be my guy. I'm going to be able to say, if we win anything, I brought Garrett in. This is my young stud who
Right.
I brought in.
That's
And
why he kept him.
that's why he kept him so long, because he wanted to say, I did it my way. It was still about Jerry. You get what I'm saying? And that's why he stayed over top of Garrett. Now, and I said this. Do you think, now tell me this, E2, Mike McCarthy can walk in Jerry Jones' office and say, I need this. You need to give me this. This is what I want to do. Jerry be like, okay. Do you think Jason Garrett could walk into Jerry Jones' office and say, Jerry, you better get me this now? That's funny.
Get your red ass out of my office right now.
You get what I'm saying? So right there, that tells you nobody's listening to you when you can't even go to the damn owner and say, I need to get this. Jerry wasn't listening to you, but I bet you Mike McCarthy can.
Yeah.
Mike
And
McCarthy,
he's already done it.
Yeah, he's already done it. He said, this is what I want to do. And he said, all right, I will. And Stephen Jones said, we're jumping up for joy. I'm just getting excited when I hear about what Mike McCarthy's trying to do.
They drafted Ben DiNucci in the 7th round. That should tell you all you need to know.
I mean.
That was all Mike McCarthy.
So, hey. Oh, speaking of draft picks, what's the one draft pick on the team this year has you the most excited?
I mean, outside of CeeDee Lamb, of course.
Right.
I think I really like Trayvon Diggs.
Talk to me about him. Somebody's getting that jersey today. You better stay in here. Go ahead. Tell me about him.
You look at a guy that transferred, right?
Mm-hmm.
He ended up in Alabama, and you know that, like, in that system, to even get on the field, you got to have some type of production. You got to be a dog. You know what I mean? Because they predicate themselves on being dogs down there.
Mm-hmm.
So, him being on this team is almost like a match made in heaven, because with this new coaching staff and what Al Harris wants to do, it is going to be right up his alley. And I think that he could mess around and be a rookie MVP if you know what I'm saying, if he played the cards right.
Now here, I'm feeling you with that Diggs. I picked him in my mock draft. He was a pick that, there was some guys I liked a lot. I like the Gladney kid from TCU. But Fulton kind of grew on me. I was still all about Gladney, and then I liked your boy Henderson. I didn't like that tackling, but I did like his coverage skills and his size. I did like that. Fulton started growing on me when I went back and watched the tape, because I was real adamant in not taking him in the first round. But I had to go back and watch tape after tape after tape. And I think he'll be a decent player in the NFL. But there's something about Diggs that I really like. You feel me, E2? It's just something about him. Number one, you come from that great tree. You're banging with your brother, Stephen. Okay? Y'all gonna tell me y'all ain't banging and having them backyard fights, and he's a beast. And I think it really helps when you play a receiver. I played cornerback. That was my position when I played in high school. But I played receiver as well. And one of the things that helped me as a cornerback was playing receiver, in my opinion, because I knew certain routes. I knew where that receiver would go because I ran them routes when I was young. I ran them routes when I could anticipate where they were going. And it made me more of a playmaker on defense, because I could turn my head and look, and I could go after that ball. And once I got it, I know what I wanted to do, because I wanted to get the ball, because I was used to being a receiver. So I wanted to get the ball in my hands as a defense so I could go back and make that. And I think that's what really stands out. And if you watch him, he's a playmaker, and I think he's going to get interceptions on this team.
Yeah, and like you said, he's played receiver as well. He's practiced with his brother, so he knows the position. Like you said, he knows the routes. He's done it before, and he plays the cornerback like as if he were a wide receiver, because when that ball gets in the air, he's tracking that ball. Mm-hmm. He don't even pay attention. Go watch his tape. He don't pay attention to the receiver. He's looking for that ball.
He sure is. He's looking for that ball all the time. Watch him. He does.
Yes. So he can mess around and be a rookie MVP in my eyes. I'm just saying.
We'll see. Now, go ahead.
Another guy that I really like is Neville Gallimore, too. I think that Neville is going to come in here. He's going to play hard because he's hungry. And he's ready to go.
Yeah, one thing I know about him, he's super hungry, and I got to see a lot of him. Texas is my squad. So obviously we see a lot of Oklahoma, and I don't like them. But he is a baller. You see CD Lamb did with us. I'm tired of seeing that damn highlight, what he did to our secondary and that damn move. I don't want to see that any longer. But I know one thing I know about Oklahoma, they tend to play their guys, especially their interior alignment, out of position. They want to do a lot of holding the setting the edge. They just move them out of position. I think that happened with when we drafted your boy Charles Tapper. He played out of position at Oklahoma. They play a lot of inside guys out of position. So I think we'll see a better Gallimore, even with the Cowboys, because I think they'll put him in positions to succeed. But I got a question from my guy right here, Dan Lee, and this is for me and you, but I'm going to ask you first, Big Dog. Well, he says, where do you think Bradley Anae and Reggie Robb sit on on the defense?
Oh, they both got jobs. They both gonna play. They gonna get opportunities. They really love Reggie Robinson. Um, what's his name? Al Harris
Mm-hmm.
loves Reggie Robinson. Will McClay loves Reggie Robinson. They talk him up. They said they were so shocked that he was there available. They was in there high five. Well, they were virtually high five in the clapping. When that happened, they called each other like, "Look, yo, we got this. We got this." Again, Reggie Robinson, another guy, another young, scrappy individual that looks for the ball. I'm telling you, what they got going on right now is beautiful. It's beautiful. Bradley and I, if you guys watch when I did it live, when I did the draft live, I said they're gonna get Bradley and I right here. I kept saying because he kept slipping, he kept dropping. I'm like, oh, ain't nobody paying attention to Bradley. Ain't nobody paying attention to Bradley. Cowboys gonna get it. Then when they got him, I was eating Hooters at the time, man. I dropped my wings. I was like, bro, it's time to go. Let's go.
Hey, it's so funny, E2. You were saying that
Yeah.
because Skywalker and Law was like you. He was pumping Bradley. He was pumping Bradley. See, I was on Curtis Weaver because my homie Tucker trained him. So I knew it was going to be between Weaver and Anai because remember, the Dolphins grabbed Weaver right before Anai. And that's where I was talking because Weaver slipped too, and he went to the 5th round. So I was like, okay, it's going to be either Weaver or Anai. Law was high on Anai. I was high on Weaver. I liked Anai because I saw him in that Senior Bowl, and he was killing them tackles in that Senior Bowl. And if you look at his tape, one of the things I really like about Anai E2 is he's not super athletic, and what hurt him because I was at the combine. He ran a 4.9. Obviously, that hurt him at the combine. He looked a little stiff in some of his drills, so people were like, oh, but guess what? It doesn't matter. He's a player, and he has advanced pass rush moves. That's the one thing I noticed about him in college, his advanced pass rush moves. And then E2, he loves DeMarcus Lawrence. What is
Yeah.
DeMarcus Lawrence known for? Not being super athletic, but his pass rushing moves, his hand fighting. He said, I want to learn from DeMarcus Lawrence. I just love watching him. So if he can get in the room with DeMarcus Lawrence, okay, get that hand fighting because he already has those advanced pass rush moves now, he is going to be scary because he's going to be a guy that you're never going to be talking about or never think is coming. And then you'll be thinking, Bradley Anae again.
He has a motor, and his motor don't stop.
Yeah.
That's one thing about him.
And
He may
also,
have been a little stiff, but that ain't nothing. That ain't nothing that these defense that Jim Thomas Sula can't fix. You know what I mean?
and he said,
I'm
just
not
give me
worried.
players.
That's it.
We'll
That's
we'll
it.
figure it out. He said, just give me the players and we'll figure it out. And that's what I like as well. The
That's it.
philosophy. Don't worry about 6'6" or long arms. Just give me a guy who's a player and I'll fit him in. I'll fit him in what we're trying to do. And that's what we want because we're so bent on we get a defensive end. He got to be 6'5". He got to be 262 pounds. He got to have 34-inch long arm. He got to have 9-10-inch hands. He has to be that. And if he's not that, then we're not going to draft him. Instead of saying,
That's
look,
the
we
problem.
don't give a hell about what this measurements are. We're gonna fit him in. And just I was excited about Reggie Robb. I don't want to pat myself on the back, but I will. I'm sorry. But I picked Trevin Diggs in my mock, and then I picked Reggie Robinson on our live mock draft E2. We did our live mock draft E2, and I picked him in the 4th round. They were like, who are we gonna pick? I said, go with Reggie Robinson. I've been watching him at Tulsa. I like his size. He's 6'1". He can play multiple positions. I think he blocked like 4 kicks. He's real aggressive. He's a guy that goes after the ball. And just like we said, They're going after guys that are playmakers, E2. They're going after guys that are going after the ball. And guess what, E2? I don't mind an aggressive defense. It's okay. I don't want to bend, don't break. I want
Right,
aggressive. I want a guy.
right.
Guess what? It's okay to give up some plays because we're going to get some plays. We're going to get turnovers. We're going to get sacks because we're aggressive. We're sitting there in this bend, don't break. You'll lose every time, in my opinion.
Every damn time, bro.
Every time. You know what I mean?
Every time.
So there
Every
it
time.
is. Hey, dog, you want to start coming on. I heard a couple people say, and you need to bring E2 on here more. I do. That's my dog. He gonna be coming on here again. You feel me? You know what I'm
I
saying?
I can't I can't see your chat box because I'm just on Skype right now.
That's all good. That's all good. But they showing you hella love, E2. You know you got love over here.
I appreciate it.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, I appreciate you, Rue Glock. I had missed you. I haven't seen you in a long time. Let me give a shout out to a few people here. And then guess what? I'm not gonna hold you up, E2, but I'm
Nah,
gonna.
I'm here, bro.
Okay,
I ain't got
okay. Well, you ain't ready to go. Y'all want to talk some more? I'm gonna ask them. Y'all want to talk some more? I'm gonna ask them right now. You know what I'm saying? Y'all, I'm gonna ask the people. Y'all want to still keep on talking? You want to get off here? I'm gonna announce the jersey announcement in another about 15, 20 minutes. If y'all want to keep going, y'all tell me. E2 said let's keep going. I want to know what y'all saying. Let's keep going. What? What up, T Smooth TV? Oh yeah, they going nutty. They say yes, absolutely. E2 the man.
wow.
E2 the man. He said, let's keep it
Yes, sir.
coming.
All right.
All right, so let's keep it going. So let me pull up. What do you think about DeMarcus Lawrence? He bounced back this year?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Ten
This is the
sacks?
thing about huh?
10 sack season, gets back to double digit sacks this year?
This is the thing about D-Law. Everybody gave him crap about not getting those sacks last year, but did you not see
Bullshit.
what Robert Quinn did?
Right.
Robert Quinn wasn't able to do that unless D-Law was there. These of linemen in this league respect D-Law. Like, do people actually pay attention? Because if you understand football, you know that even when you're a good guy, they're going to double team. And with DeMarcus Lawrence, he may not always get all the great sacks because everybody be like, oh, well, I need his production to be this high every time because he gets paid. I get all that. I understand that. But you do have to understand that football is an ultimate team game, right? So if you're being double teamed, common sense to tell you that there's somebody that's going to be open out there for a pass rush. They only got to swim move one guy and they're to the quarterback. So with that being said, I think that he's going to be even better this year because now you got Dontari Poe, you got Gerald McCoy, and those guys are inside guys, but they're also going to provide pressure. And if Dontari Poe at that one technique, if he collapses that pocket on the inside and the quarterback ain't got nowhere to go, oh, those ends are going to eat all day. So that's not going to do anything but get better for DeMarcus Lawrence. So yes.
And I love it. And see, everybody was trying to diss D Law, this and that. You're talking about a guy. Oh, he fell off. He got his money and get paid. This is his ranking. 86.3 is 12th out of 102. And as you said, please go watch the tape because there's a lot of times Dallas and we should really know how Rob Marinelli loves to stunt, right? Rob Marinelli
Yeah.
stunt the hell out of your ass. And guess what?
Yeah.
How many times D-Law was stunning, taking on double teams to free up Dorrance Armstrong Jr., to free up Tyrone Crawford, to free up Woods. He was freeing up a lot of people just because you said when they came into the game, E2, okay, they knew about Quinn, but when they came into the game, they said, we're shutting down D-Law. Okay? They said, we're chipping him because Robert Quinn was nothing compared to D-Law in the run game. Nothing. It wasn't even close. They're not even comparable on the run game status because Robert Quinn can't set the edge like D-Law can. And people need to understand that. It's more than rushing the passer. You have to be able to stop the run as a defensive end, and he can hold that point of attack and set that edge. So people need to understand the double teams he's taking. He's getting hit by a tight end. He's getting chipped by a running back, and he's still out there. And a lot of times when those 5 sacks he had, he could have had 8 because he's right there grabbing the jersey and the quarterback is getting the ball out of his hand right then and there. So people go back and watch the tape. D-Law bounced back and he gets over 10 sacks in my opinion as well. Back off him.
And do you also realize too, and just to piggyback on what we were talking about with the free agency, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just to let the fans know how good we did, not only with the draft, but with getting guys in free agency. Everybody kept saying, "Oh, Dallas Cowboys always get these bargain bin guys." But guess what? Did you guys know that 6 of the free agents that we got this offseason are former first round picks? Think about that. And we got them on the low. Think about that.
Yeah, that's huge. That's super huge. So that's good stuff right there. I like that. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I like
that. 6 former first round picks.
6 former first
including
round.
Cameron Irving, Aldon Smith.
He's trash. Cameron Irving's trash.
Okay, well, you know what's funny? I think that he's going to play better with us.
He probably will, and I think the staff maybe probably bring him up because, like you said, I think Philman's a great offensive line coach. He's been in the game over 20 years, and I think he's really going to get that offensive line really together. I got a question for my guy.
He didn't have a good situation with the Browns either, so I'm just going to chalk that up to the system.
Coaching makes a difference. People act like it don't. E2, we played. I've coached. I don't know if you coach, but I know I've coached, and coaching makes a hell of a difference. It makes all the difference. E2, it doesn't make all the damn difference. Like, you got a damn good ass coach. You feel, dog, I don't know. Tell him, E2.
I haven't coached, but I could.
I know. I think you'd be a damn good coach. You need to get in. You need to coach some little league. You need to coach some youth football. I think you'd be a damn good youth football coach.
Wait till my son get old enough to get into the when he get into the P4.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, I'm gonna just tell you like this. Once you get your foot into it, you're hooked for life. I did it with my oldest when he was 8 years old, and I just stepped into it like, let me just see. Dog, I went to one practice. I was hooked. I was up in that joker every day on the field, yelling, screaming, hollering. The guy who owned it, he came over. He said, "Hey man, Jay," he said, "I like you." He said, "I just love your enthusiasm. Get your ass here on this field." And I was like, "Yeah!" Yeah, it was on like Donkey Kong, bro. He said, he released a bear out there. He released a bear, dog. I was going home every day, E2, studying. Like, wait till I get my squad. Wait till I get my squad, E2. Wait till I get my team. Feel me? But I got my boy Dan Lee. He asked, Dan Lee goes with the $5 holla. Appreciate everybody with them donations. Especially my members.
Let me give you some.
Go ahead.
Let me give you some bonus content right quick.
Give me some bonus.
All right, and let's talk about something that I know this is your channel. I ain't trying to take over, but I did want to.
Man, say what the hell you want.
I did want to chime in and say, basically, let's talk about something real quick that a lot of people don't talk about.
Let's talk about
kickers' lives matter, right? So with that being said, let's talk about the Greg Zuerlein, Kai Forbath competition that we have going
on. That's all you. I'm listening.
All right. So I mentioned it on my channel before, back when Greg Zuerlein got signed, right? So you look at Greg Zuerlein, you look at his career stats. He's called Greg the Leg for a reason. Now, granted, he did have a couple of bad seasons, well, 2 bad seasons, because he had, groin injuries and things of that nature. So as a kicker, you have to understand, and regular people, even if you play football, you don't understand how hard it is to kick a field goal until you actually try to do it yourself. It ain't.
It's super hard.
It's super hard. Shout out to Cowboys Crunk, though, because Cowboys Crunk, which is another Cowboys YouTuber, when we were in Texas for the game last year, he actually kicked 3 35-yard field goals in a row. So he could maybe be a Cowboys backup. Who knows?
Please.
But again, I looked at him and was like, bro, how you do that? I can't do that. I can't kick. So, but with that being said, you look at Greg DeLay, you look at what he still has in the tank, the fact that he was with the Rams, the fact that he was working with John Fossil, and he's excited to be there. The Cowboys had Zuerlein on their radar for a long time, right? And we're not talking about just from the season when he became available. They liked him when he was entrenched as the starter as the kicker for the Rams. Now, they like Kai Forbath. We got Kai Forbath kind of partial way of the season. He made all 10 of his kicks. We know Kai Forbath as well because we had him his rookie year when he was undrafted, and we didn't keep him because we ultimately chose Dan Bailey that year, right? He ended up going to the Redskins. He went to the Vikings. He went to a bunch of other teams, right? So round robin, he comes back to the Dallas Cowboys. We get rid of Maserati, not Maher. So we get rid of that guy. You have Kai Forbath, and now you have this competition with Greg Zerline. The question is, who wins the battle? Now, if you look at when it comes to contract-wise, Greg Zerline's got a 3-year deal that can go up to what, $9 million with incentives. So if you look at the contract, common sense will tell you that Greg Zerline is the lead guy, right? But when you look at production, they're both really good kickers. So it's going to be a hell of a battle in training camp. And I just want people to be aware of this and to pay attention and understand that these kickers matter too. That was my whole purpose of bringing that up.
Well, here's the thing. I just pulled up some of his stats and just what he was looking like last year. His grade is not that great from last year. Just like you said, he fell off a little bit, but he did have his injury. And he was spot on the last couple of years prior to that. I mean, he was doing his thing. I think it's going to be a good competition. I like that they brought in some competition, not just said, hey, Forbath, because you kicked 10 field goals last year, we're just going to just say, hey, you're our guy next year. You know what I'm saying? I like the fact that they're bringing in guys, and they're not bringing in guys that are trash. You're bringing in a Zerline who's going to push you, Forbath. So y'all both have to come into camp, bring in your A game, or somebody's gone. And that's what I like. They're bringing guys in to say that we're not bringing bums in. We're not bringing in guys that you still feel like, oh, I'm beating him out. We're bringing in guys that are going to push you and probably could take your spot if you don't play around. And I think that's where you see it at the cornerback position, safety with Ha Diggs, receiver. Who do you think is going to be the fourth receiver? Since I'm talking about, we got Cedric Wilson. That's the plug. Cedric Wilson going to be on Thursday. I think he makes the fourth receiver. Who do you think be the fourth receiver, or the third?
Either him or Devin Smith.
Who would you take?
I like Devin Smith.
I like Cedric.
Because Devin and Dak got a thing going. They got a little chemistry on that deep ball.
Yeah, they got some chemistry, but did you see when Ced came in when Gallup choked up in that Jets game, and before he got hurt, Ced had 5 catches, and he was running, so he played multiple positions. He played outside, he played the X, he slid inside, he was playing in the slot, he played special teams, there was a couple returns, and I think that's what's going to get him at the fourth receiver over Devin Smith, because he can play special teams, he can return punts, and I think that's what gets him.
This is the tricky part about that, right? Because you can ultimately keep both of them because you're going to have 5 receivers.
Right.
Dallas Cowboys, knowing them, they might have 6 because one of them.
They're going to keep at least 6, I think.
Right. So you look at it like this. So let's go from top to bottom, right? This is my list. Right?
Okay.
You may not agree, but goddamn it, this is what I think.
That's all. It's all about you. Feel me?
Amari Cooper. You got Michael Gallup, of course. Lamb. So you go with your fourth. You got Cedric. Then you got Devin Smith. And now the odd man out could be Noah Brown or Ventel Bryant.
He needs to be the odd man out. I don't want to hear no damn Noah Brown no more.
Okay. I know that's why you didn't mention him, because he kept getting injured. Now, the Cowboys like him because he's a big body like Dez Bryant is. But the problem is he kept getting injured and he couldn't show that. So who's going to he's got competition with John V. Johnson and Ventel Bryant. Now, Ventel Bryant actually scored a touchdown in the game. So he has that leg up because he's actually had game experience. So
Ventel got a charge though. Do you think that hurts him?
No, because they would have cut him by now if that was the case.
Okay. Well, like I said, I'm listening to a lot of people on here with saying Cedric was with the last regime. I don't think that has anything to do with it. I think Cedric doesn't have to worry about being, you was with the last regime, because you know why? Number one, Mike McCarthy likes those tall, lanky type receivers in that slot and being versatile, and that's what Cedric was.
That's why I know it's still here.
That's what I'm saying. And he's a full 6'3", about 215, 216 pounds, and that's who McCarthy likes. He likes those type of receivers. And he likes his receivers to be able to play different positions. And so if you're thinking that, I think he does. And the only thing that's really hurt Cedric Wilson is injuries, right? His injuries have
Yeah.
really held him back more than anything. If he can stay healthy, I think he locks down that fourth spot. I think Devin and them, John Vay Johnson. I made a video. I like John Vay. Everybody hated on him because of the drops, but he was looking. Everybody forgets how everybody was sweating him before he had the drops. Everybody because his route running and
That
his
was
speed.
nervous. That was just nervous. That was nervous,
That's what
man.
I'm saying. Like that's a first year rookie who's undrafted who's trying to press and get on the squad. So that's what happens. It's called nerves. Now you got a whole
Yeah.
nother year where you sat on the practice squad. If you do it 2 years in a row, then you're gone. But if you make an improvement from 1 year, because I've seen some of the best receivers in the game, T.O., have 15 drops in one season. We saw Michael Gallup last year, who's a dog, have 11 drops. Amari Cooper had
Yeah.
8 drops. So let's not act like some of the best don't drop the damn ball. So let's give this kid a break and let's see what he does year 2. And I think he still has a chance with that speed. But I think special teams holds a high value. Even with this new regime, you got to be able to play it if you're playing in the receiver from 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah.
So we'll
I
kind of
agree.
see about that. You know what I mean? Let me ask you your thoughts on Connor McGovern. What do you think about Connor McGovern? That battle between Connor McGovern and Connor Williams. Where do you think that kind of plays out? Because I've been bringing up about Tyron Smith. I said Cowboys need to. I've been saying this for the last year. Cowboys need to start looking. Not saying take his spot, but they need to start looking for a left tackle because Tyron Smith is guaranteed to miss 3 games a year. He's missed at least 3 games a year for the last 4 years. He's guaranteed to do it. He gave up, let me see how many sacks he gave up this year. I don't think he gave up a lot. I think he gave up 1. But he's not the Tyron of that. He's still a dog, but he's not that guy. What do you think
I already.
about that position with Connor Williams,
I.
McGovern, and tackle?
Well. I know you don't like this because we just talked about it, but that's why they got Cameron Irving.
Ugh, that's gross.
That's why they got Cameron Irving, and that's why they still got. Don't forget about Brandon Knight.
I like Brandon Knight, but people hated on me with Brandon. I told Jesse Holly about Brandon Knight. He said he was gonna just block me. Vaught said Brandon Knight could be the swing tackle. Brandon Knight is better than people say, and I want him to prove it so I can come back at these so-called people.
I'm not trying to dispel anything Jesse Holly says because I love Jesse Holly. I think he's the truth. But Jesse Holly he don't pay attention to offensive linemen.
You feel me?
So he just doesn't pay attention to Brandon Knight. That's why he say that. But Brandon Knight I pay attention to all of these players in all of these positions because, again, offensive linemen, and especially with this team, and we just talked about that with Tyron Smith, you look at the situation that's going on, they know what they're doing. Because if it was that dire of a need, they would have already gotten somebody else. But that's the reason why they got Cameron Irving. That's the reason why they got Brandon Knight. Because they believe that both of these guys together can compete for that swing tackle position and can come in a pinch. Now, again, ain't nobody gonna be better than Tyron Smith because again, we as Cowboys Nation, we are the most spoiled fucking fan base out there.
Right, real
and
talk.
That's the thing that irritates me. We're spoiled as hell. We're spoiled, and you look at other teams that do more with less. So I don't want to hear that we can't get it done. Period.
I mean, like I said, I agree with you. So where do you think? What is Connor Williams playing this? Does he comes back from injury? Does he take over the left guard spot, or do you want a Connor McGovern take over the guard spot and let's see if Connor Williams can play the swing tackle because he was a left tackle in college at Texas.
I mean, he could ultimately keep his position at the left guard spot. We'll see, but that all depends on what that injury looking like. That all depends on his strength. But we'll see in training camp. See, the thing about the offensive lineman is up in the air. There's only a few spots that we know that this solidified. You know what I mean? Like we got questions at center. We definitely have questions because we know that Tyron Smith doesn't play a whole season. Because once you have back problems, if you play sports,
it's a wrap.
If you get surgery,
it don't get better.
They don't go away. They don't get better. So that's just what it is. I mean, you find ways to manage it, but it never goes away.
And that's why he's guaranteed to miss like 3 games a game. games a year because that back is going to flare up. And I looked at the improvement from Connor Williams at the guard position. He gave up 5 sacks his rookie year. He came back only gave up 1, so he definitely improved from 1 year to the next.
Yeah,
I'm just want to see what I just want to see what McGovern. I think the key on this line is McGovern. He is the key to me, E2, because if McGovern comes in and really shows what we saw in college, because I thought he was a mauler in college and I thought he was really good. If he comes in and let's say he takes over that guard spot, because I think that's his better position. He played center, but I'd rather see him at guard because I just think he's better at that. If he plays at guard, it's okay just because you drafted a Connor Williams as a second or third round pick to say you can be the swing tackle of the future. Okay, it's okay because I just we need a left tackle. I'm gonna keep it real. Like we need to, if you don't have this year, you need to draft a left tackle next year if Connor Williams is not your guy. Period.
I agree. But right now, I'm gonna give it up to Joe Philbin, and I'm gonna say he got it.
Okay.
He know what he want to do. He already got his plan. So we don't, and as a fan base, we don't pay attention to this offensive line like that. As far as the guys that are backups, we just look at. See, we're so shit faced on the whole Chaz Green incident.
Right.
So we look at that and we think that every backup is not good enough for us because Travis Frederick, Zach Martin, Tyron Smith have set the bar so damn high that like you got to understand that like our backups can be starters on a lot of teams, including Joe Looney. So we'll be all right. Yeah. That's just how we'll be fine.
I agree. So let me ask you about special teams. We talked about the punting. Well, we talked about the kicker. What about the punter? Does Chris Jones have a? Because I think Jesse was talking about him that he's going to have a revitalized career under.
I need people to stop trashing my man Chris Jones.
They've been trashing him.
Leave CJ alone.
Why?
Right?
Why are we leaving him alone? Why are we leaving him alone?
He had a groin injury, and if you ever had a damn groin injury before, that shit hurts. It can take up to a year to heal. And with him still kicking over and over again, it's not going to heal. So the only way it's going to heal is if you're not doing anything at all. You can't lift your leg. You can barely walk with a groin injury. Trust me, I had one before. So with that being said, I think that he's going to come back in true form. Let's go back and look at some tape with CJ. And that boy can tackle too. So the punter, he didn't get that name for no reason. Remember those little trick plays that we used to do? The fake kicks, and that boy can run too. Put the ball in his hand. So what does John Fossil do? He does trick plays on special teams. He knows what Chris Jones can do, and he's going to utilize that. So if I were Cowboy fans, I wouldn't worry. That is your punter. Now, they got some guy that's going to come in training camp that's going to provide, I don't know if it's going to be competition, but they already have another punter on the roster. I forgot his name, but he's like one of the futures guys or whatever. The guys we don't pay attention to. The guys, I didn't even know he was on the team. Yeah, they have another punter on there. They just, again, he's just a cat body. But they're gonna go with Chris Jones. So there's really no worry there. His issue was the injury. That's it, and that's all.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm a bounce off you with the Chris Jones of what you said about Bones, how he loves how to have athletic type punters because he can do different things. He likes to throw the ball. He likes to run. And Chris Jones, the thing that you really love about him, he's athletic. And I think that you are going to see some good trick plays with him. And just like you said, you have a groin injury. I ain't going to lie. I used to clown people or, when I was younger, I was like, man, how is this damn receiver missing 5 weeks on a hamstring injury? Then guess what? I pulled my hamstring 1 week, and guess what? I saw how real I saw how real a hamstring injury is. That's minimum 4 to 6 weeks hamstring injury. That's minimum a month on any hamstring injury. So I can only imagine. I've had a slight groin injury. You can't move your leg. You can't walk. You can't do anything with a groin injury. You cannot walk on a groin injury. And think about it. If you can't really walk on a groin injury, how the hell are you punting? Just saying.
Because I've been working out a lot lately, so I've lost a lot of weight. So I've been like literally like running and stuff. So I pulled my groin just running. So I already know, you know what I'm saying, what the situation is. I know how that shit feels. That shit don't feel good. But at the end of the day, like I be trying to tell people, unless you played any type of organized sport, you do not understand the extent of these injuries. You don't.
You don't. You really don't. And that's the God Almighty truth. Unless you actually played the game and you're like, oh, why is this? You need to play, and then you'll see exactly what's going on. So let me give you one more thing before we get out of here, because I got to announce my person who won the jersey today. Got to announce him here in 1 second. But I want to ask you on the special teams and the backup quarterback situation. Special teams, as far as who do you want to be the kick returner for the Cowboys, and who do you want to be the punt returner for the Cowboys?
Well, I wanted it to be Tavon Austin, but they didn't resign him. So it's more than likely they're gonna give Lamb and they're gonna give Jordan Lewis the opportunity to do that. That's already known.
Well, me personally, I don't want Jordan Lewis on the punt return game. Me personally, I like to see Tony Pollard as the kick returner, and I want to see CeeDee Lamb as the punt returner.
That's a possibility too.
Yeah,
they might do that.
Because you gotta. My thing is this: if you have a guy that Tony Pollard's not playing every single play like Ezekiel Elliott, you need to get the damn ball in Tony Pollard's hands. That's one of the ways to do it.
Agreed.
You know what I'm saying? So those are my
But
kind of.
we
Go
already
ahead.
know that Mike McCarthy is going to use these guys.
Yeah.
I mean, we're going to run a lot of 2 running back sets. You're going to be watching plays. You'll be like, what the hell are they about to run?
Yeah, I feel you. I feel you.
I feel sorry for these defenses. You talking about bunch formation with this offense? Oh, hell no, bro.
I mean, think about it, E2. I was talking about Blake Jarwin the other day, and I went through Mike. Dog, I said, well, check this out. I went back through the history of Mike McCarthy, how he does with tight ends. Jermichael Finley was eating. Jermichael Finley was 18 with the Green Bay Packers, 18. And what's so crazy about it, E2, he still had these other guys, Randall Cobb and the Jordy Nelsons and the Greg Jennings. These guys were still seeing 132 targets, 101 targets. And your boy, Jermichael Finley, these guys were getting over 100 targets. Your tight end was still getting 80. He was still getting 90 targets. You feel me?
Yeah.
So that's what people need to get excited is Mike McCarthy uses his tight end. And that's why he's probably excited about a Blake Jarwin, because I think Blake Jarwin's going to turn up this year, man.
First of all, you think Dak Prescott little 4,920 yards?
He going what under Garrett?
Wait till next year.
Dog, that's why we got to get this mug in camp, man. Stop playing these damn games with me, dog. Because he's going to turn up.
Because that going to be expensive next year.
Shit. And why, man? They just don't know, but they going to see. So how do you feel about Andy Dalton as the backup quarterback? What'd you think about that signing and bringing him in?
First of all, that shit was genius.
Genius.
It was genius. And some of these dumb people out here talking about, he's going to take over Dak Prescott's job.
Man, shut the hell up.
Shut up. Like, he knows what he's here for. He looking at it like this. I can go sit and be a backup. I don't have to worry about people clowning me about being a quarterback in the Bengals no more. I can sit and still be in the spotlight with the Cowboys, and I can revitalize my career by resting up and then go play and start for a team next year. That was genius on his part. And with the Cowboys, now you have a veteran backup that's also going to be in Dak Prescott's ear to tell Dak that, hey, it might be some things that Dalton may see that Dak Prescott don't know yet, because, again, Dalton's been in the league a long time. So, he can be that guy, kind of like how Mark Sanchez was to him when he was on the roster. So it's a win-win for Dak Prescott.
It's a definitely win-win, and I got I guess E2. Maybe I should pat myself on the back again. I shouldn't, but I am. I've been patting myself on the back. Yeah, I've been patting myself on my back a lot. But the day they sniffed about Andy Dalton, them cutting him, the day they sniffed it, I was because I live in Ohio, so I hear all that Ohio news before anybody else.
Oh, I
So
know.
as soon as they were sniffing about cutting him, I posted it immediately. Dallas, if the price is right, get Andy Dalton. And guess what the hell happened? Smart people prevailed because they said, you know what? We don't feel good about Cooper Rush. It was a good feel-good story for the last couple of years, but guess what? We're trying to go to the fucking Super Bowl, so we need players that can help us get there. And
That's because you live in Ohio.
man, I'm just saying. I'm trying to get the hell away from here, but I'm just saying. So I just feel like they said we're ready now. We don't got time for something happen if that get hurt or something like that. We don't got time to be worried about. Oh, we got Cooper Rush here. Now we don't got time for that. We're in win now mode. It's time to get this chip. So we need to get everything in order to make that happen. Because like I said, in football years, 1 year in football year is like 7 year dog years. So you ain't
Yeah,
got time to sit there and think, oh, what about next year? It ain't like that in the NFL, dog. This ain't the NBA and stuff. You got to capitalize on them years now in the NFL because still the average lifespan is still only 3.5 years. So you got to capitalize on it now.
got to. You got to.
Yeah. So, woo, man, dog. I love you. I might start having you on like once a week, dog. Not like my channel's all that, but I'm just saying. I like
Hey,
having
that's
you.
what's up.
I just like having you
I'm
on,
here.
big dog. So,
I'm here.
before you get off here, I want you to say here with this what we go through. Today, I did the video today. Hey, I did the video today about my person who's winning that jersey today. Somebody's winning a Trevin Diggs jersey today. I dropped a video today, E2, and I gave a shout out to all the members that I know. I gave a breakdown of each one of them that I know, and I had my Cowboys hat. I had a raffle, and I pulled out the name in that raffle, and I seen it, and I'm excited to tell everybody. Drum roll, please. And the winner of the first jersey giveaway for Big Game James. I already gave away a hat, and that my man Shakina North, he flexed that hat, and it was fresh. E2, it was a fresh ass hat I sent him. But the winner of the first jersey giveaway, I need everybody to throw them thumbs up before I donate. Throw them thumbs up, Sammy Ray. Jump, I got need to throw everybody throw them thumbs up. Thumbs up. Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Everybody ready here? I throw them thumbs up. Get them thumbs up in here, man. Get them damn thumbs up. There you go, E2. Throw them thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Say you're ready, because I'm about to give the announcement. I need them thumbs up before I give this announcement. Yeah, man. There we go. Give me them thumbs up. Give me them thumbs up. Here they come. My dog E2 is coming with it. Thumbs up. And the winter. I said the winter. And the winner of the first. The winter. And the winner of the first official jersey giveaway on Big Game James page. And it's going to be a lot more giveaways, man. They ain't going to be every month, but they're going to be giveaways. They ain't going to be every damn month, so don't get it twisted. Is KMT 72. Congratulations. Can you see it up there? You probably can't because this is hood stuff right here. We didn't do all the coloring stuff. I did a real hood right here. But the first official winner of the jersey giveaway, and it's funny that you made them post today, KMT. It's just really weird that happened. But KMT, yes way, baby, yes way. I love it. Yes way, KMT 72. Give KMT 72 a big hand clap. I need hand claps, man. Congratulations. Let me give a congratulations. Yeah. Hey, let me give a shout out to KMT 72, man. He rocks hard. E2, he rocks hard. I just made a video. I said I love his enthusiasm. He's damn near one of the first ones in the feed all the time. Love his enthusiasm. He's been going hard for my Twitter, E2. We're trying to get Des Bryant, and it's day 17. Is it KMT? Day 17 of the retweet to Des Bryant so we can get him on the show. I just love his enthusiasm, and I'm just really excited. And so, shout out once again for KMT 72, first official jersey giveaway. You got to make sure I'm going to hit you up, KMT. Make sure. No, actually, I want you to do KMT. Go on my Twitter and get in my DM because you follow me on my Twitter. Go on my DM and give me your size for the jersey. So I can go ahead and get that size. I can go ahead and get it ordered for you, and I can go ahead and get it shipped to you and sent to you. Now, I sent that hat out to my peoples, and it took them like a few weeks because I don't know what happened. But I'm going to get on that ASAP. Jump in my DM on my Twitter. Give me your jersey size, and then we'll go from there, and I'll send you out that navy blue rookie Trevin Diggs jersey. Super excited for my first giveaway with the jersey. More things to come. We're going to do a lot of great things with our membership with Big Game James. Try to be a member, man. We're doing a lot of great things. So I'm super excited, man. I really love giving away things. I'm really happy for you, dog. I really love you, KMT, and I love all my people out there. Once again, give a big shout out to our member KMT for being the first jersey winner for the Big Game James, and I love you for life for that, man. Love y'all. This is, like you said, this is a second family here, man. We family here. E2 is my family. When we say Cowboys family here, it's real. You know what I'm saying? Yes. We do the late night hype, is real. Like, this is real family. Like, this is love. This is real family. And so this is what it is. Like, when we jump on here and we talk these shows, this is like us getting together as a family together and talk family business, right, E2? We talk family. It's time to talk family business today. You feel me? And that's just what it is. So shout out to everybody who was in the feed. Shout out to all the donations. Shout out to all my loves out there. Donation from my dog Dan Lee with the $2 holla. He said he just ordered a J. Lou jersey. Be careful, that might be traded. You might keep that receipt, Dan Lee. That's my dog. Make sure you keep the receipt on that. I ain't hating, but keep the receipt on the J. Lou jersey because he may get traded. And then I'm just being real. I ain't hating. Gotta be real around here, dog. I gotta tell the truth here. Okay, so just keep the receipt for that jersey. Just saying. So, hey man, appreciate everybody who was in the feed. Make sure you jump in, E2. Make sure you jump in tomorrow, dog, because you know we got George Teague on tomorrow on the late night hype, 10 p.m. He just hit me up yesterday. Teague did. He will be on the show tomorrow on the late night hype. And then Wednesday, we're coming back with former quarterback Anthony Wright. I already did an interview with him last year on my Facebook. He's coming back around for a round robin with the guys. This time has great insight from the quarterback position. And then Thursday, we come with another active player on the offensive side of the ball, Mr. Cedric Wilson, who I like. I made a video about him. I think he should make that fourth receiver. We'll get his insight on the offense, the coaches, and things of that nature. Is going to be really exciting. And possibly Friday, here's the thing. If Patrick Creighton doesn't commit for Friday, we're probably going to bring our dog E2Blue, and we'll just have the four of us, Skywalker, Law, myself, E2, and just get it in, and we can talk about the interviews we had during the week or whatever. So we'll try to get all that locked down. You just make sure you keep supporting E2Blue, Big Game James, the late night hype. Support us. We out here for y'all. Is that not right, E2? We do this for y'all, man.
That's it.
Plug your channel and all your stuff, big dog.
Those of you that don't follow me, it's E2Blue Entertainment, E2BLU Entertainment. Follow the channel, man. I post videos all the time. I do my live streams as well. Good content, y'all. Y'all won't. If you already follow me, appreciate the support, though.
Yeah, hey man, hey E2. Like I said, when I first really started out here on the YouTube tip, I went through everybody that was like I thought were like really good, like the Underground Kings, so I could kind of just learn from them. And E2 was one of the guys that I respected, and that's why I came at him like, hey, I really respect your work. I watch your channel. I listen to you. I really respect your work, and I'd like to have you on my station because you're good. I think you're good. And we hit it off instantly. You know what I'm saying? We hit it off instantly. Sure. And it's just grown, and it's a beautiful thing, and I love it. So please go out there and support and support his page like no other, because you see right here he knows what he talked about. And one of the things that we always talk about, you really like listening to people who played the game, I'm not hating on people who have never played the game. I'm not hating on nobody's never played the game. But when somebody's played the game, tend to listen to it a little bit more. You know what I'm
It's just
saying?
a different.
It's just a
It's
different
a
feel.
different
Talk to them. Tell
mindset.
them about that. Tell them
It's
about that.
it's a different mindset. It's like when you've played football before, you kind of like you've been on the team, so you know the camaraderie. You can kind of figure like even though we've never played in the NFL, it's still like when you played in an actual team, you know what it's like to be a player. So kind of get an idea of what these guys are going through day in day out. So you're not just thinking things on a fan level. You're thinking it on athletic level because again, there's more things that go into football than just the entertainment side. There's the business side, there's the player development side. It's a lot of different tidbits that go into that. So when you see us and we talk about certain things when it comes to football and the way that things are run, we kind of know a little bit more because again we played and we know what it takes to prepare for a game every day and things of that nature and the mental state because again these players are human just like we are too, so it's not like they're robots. They're human. They make mistakes. They do certain things. So it is what it is. So when you make comments about certain things, think of it from a standpoint, what would you do in that situation? Put yourself as a player. You know what I mean? Like, so, we try to educate and entertain and inform you guys is the best way that we can. Because we want Cowboys Nation to be intelligent. We don't want to be dumbasses like the Eagles fans, right?
Right.
We don't want to be out here licking poles and and horse poop. You know what I mean? We
Mm-hmm.
want to make sure that our Cowboys Nation knows what the hell we're talking about. And this is why all of us are out here to do this.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree. I'm just making this text right here. I totally agree with that. Like I said, I didn't play. I played more basketball on a higher level. But when you're an athlete, you're an athlete. You know what I'm saying? I played football, little league, all the way up, like I said, until the start of high school. And I just was acting up in school. But when you've played the game, like you said, you see a different perspective. So you don't go as hard because you know what it's like in the locker room. You know what it's like to be around athletes. You know how it is in that locker room and how it's totally different what people say. People from the
Right.
outside will say one thing, but it's totally different in the locker room. Those things that people say on the outside ain't being said on the inside. You know what I'm saying? And they don't listen to those. We don't listen to those outside forces when you're in the locker room and you're that close knit group. If anything, when you hear them people talking on the outside about your group on the inside, what does it do? It gets you tighter. You get closer. You get closer because you're like, you know what? We ain't listening to that noise out there. We ain't listening to none of that stuff. This is the time we need to band together and really regroup. And just like you said with contracts, when you talk about a player, the first thing I do is I look at that damn contract because the money tells you a lot what about that player. Okay? Because we can like a player all we want, but if that player is making a certain amount of X of money and this other player ain't, don't matter how much you like him, that salary is going to tell him where he's probably going to
Oh,
play.
definitely.
So
Definitely.
that's the reality. And honestly, I love Dak and I love a lot of the players. But if they were to cut them, I'd be like, oh damn, that sucks. But I would move on because at the end of the day, it is a business. We love the entertainment side of this, but this is a business, folks. They put their bodies
It
through
is.
hell. Okay, they
They
put their
do.
bodies through hell. They put their stuff through not the normal person could do, and it's a business and it's cutthroat. And when we talking about, oh, he's greedy, oh, he should take this for the team, and he should, no, he shouldn't. No, these players shouldn't. Okay, because if you played the game of football, and I never played it in the NFL, but they're getting broke up, y'all. Y'all don't know
And
what they put their damn
we
bodies
get,
through.
it's like getting into a car accident every week.
Real talk. You get what I'm saying? And it's crazy
And I
because
played, and look, and I played a year in arena league, and I think arena is crazy because well, how it was before. I mean, I know it's gone now, but like even with that, you got those barriers, and you're flipping
they
people
still
over
got
these
arena
barriers.
football.
No, they disbanded.
Oh, they did?
Yeah,
Okay. Well, damn.
yeah, it's gone now. It's
Oh,
gone now.
yeah. Well, like I
But
said, go ahead.
but like I said, like I was a heavy hitter and I hit hard. And like, thank God I didn't have any brain injuries or anything, but I did tear my patella tendon. So, that was done for me. But after that, like I just look at it like this. When you get these injuries and stuff, I still got arthritis in my knee now, but that's why I roller skate now professionally because it helps to strengthen my knee. Because I'm not gonna be sitting around here limping and shit all day. I'm gonna be athletic and I'm gonna keep it up for the rest of my life because I want to live a long time. You hear me?
Hell yeah, I definitely feel you. And as I said before, I'm gonna go with the player. Sometimes, when I didn't really know some things. I had to really, well, actually, I'm gonna keep it real, E2. Once I really started getting into when I got into the media game and I went into the media field and I went to school and things of that nature, it just opened my eyes about contracts that I didn't know. And I was like,
Yeah.
damn, I was an uneducated ass fan. I had to really look at. I mean, I kept it real with myself. I was like, damn, I was really uneducated. I really knew the game, but from that business side of it, I really didn't know. That business side changes everything. And once you see the business side of it, it makes you back up and stop saying as many things that you did when you was a fan. And at the end of the
Right.
day, these guys got to get their money, man. They ain't demanding. No, they need to get their money because, like you said, they're putting their bodies on the line. And one play, they
Every
could
day.
break a femur or something, and it's over. And guess what that team is going to do once they break that leg and can't walk the same? You cut, and that money that they
That's
just
it.
paid you, they ain't giving it to you. And just like Philip
Nope.
Turner said when we brought him on the show, he said the day they draft you, the next day they're looking for your replacement.
Yep.
So it's real
Yep.
talk. But hey,
That's
man,
it.
I appreciate you, Big Dog, jumping on here. Shout out and salutes to everybody that was in the feed. It was a damn good show today. I knew it was going to be. Murphy Law tried to stop us, but y'all can't knock the hustle, Murphy Law. You can't stop the hustle. You really thought me and E2 wasn't going to do it? You tried to get me yesterday with that damn internet. You tried to hate on it yesterday.
But
Look,
but the devil is a lie.
the devil is a lie. Try to hate on it the day before. Try to get it said. No, I can't have you and E2 do it 2 days in a row. Can't have it. I said, hell no. We're gonna figure it out. We're gonna figure it out. And guess what? We figured it out. Had a damn good show, and I loved it.
So
And I
it,
appreciate everybody. Hey ho, Dan Lee with another $2 holler. Appreciate it. He said 2 hours ago, cigarette free. I feel you, Dan. That's my homie. That's my ninja. But hey, shout out to everybody. I'm gonna get out of here because I've been talking too long. Thank you for all the love today. Thank you for the donations. Make sure y'all in deep tomorrow in the Silver and Blue Nation chat feed for George Teague. We got some stories to tell. I'm out. E2Blue, tell them we out.
we
Peace.
out.
Deuces.